Welcome to the webinar, Supporting Districts in Preparing Their Every Student Succeeds Act district plans. This is one of 3 webinars designed for school board members, looking at what are the early learning opportunities in ESSA. This module focuses on what supports are available to districts as they begin their planning. Our other 2 sessions focus on why early learning is important for young children birth to 8 and what that means for children's school success, and as well as what are the specific opportunities and requirements within ESSA for school districts in terms of early learning. We are partnering with the Public School System, DPI, and the Head Start Collaborative Office and the Office of Early Learning to bring these supports to districts across the state. So we are going to turn it over to Karen McKnight, who is the director of the NC Head Start Collaborative Office, and to Carla Garrett, who is the Title I Preschool Consultant at the Office of Early Learning in the NC Department of Public Instruction.
So through this partnership, we are supporting districts specifically on developing their ESSA plan and including early learning in that. So we're doing this through 3 different ways, starting by building awareness around the early learning opportunities in ESSA, how early learning supports district goals, and how to engage your early learning community in the district plan development. We're also convening regional meetings of district teams to dive deeper into the early learning strategies available to districts. And then we will also be providing more intensive support to a smaller number of local teams, which will include coaching materials, shared learning community, and plan review. Any materials that we do glean from this process will be shared with the wider community as well.
So as you know, information in CCIP is typically due in the summer in June, and keeping that date in mind, our timeline reflects the need to have information complete. So if you look at the green timeline, there are a lot of things that have already happened in terms of webinars and sessions at conferences, including your School Board Association conference. And then we'll have a process where we will ask districts if they would like to apply for a small amount of funding and intensive support. We'll learn more about that at regional meetings held across the state the week of January 22nd. And then the RFP will be due, short application. We'll talk more about that in just a few slides in February. And then through that time, from February through May, we'll be able to provide the intensive support and the coaching. So that will allow your districts to get that feedback in order to complete information to submit into CCIP for approval during the summer. So part of this process includes building your team. So relationships are really important, as you already know, in thinking about early learning and who the current partners are and who some other folks may be. But to begin with, there are some musts in terms of people who participate in your team. So the Head Start director, the Title I director or representative, the Smart Start, so your local partnership, and the superintendent or a representative.
So we've decided to include the Head Start director as part of these teams because there are 26,000 children approximately served in Head Start across the state in all counties. And also there are requirements in the Every Student Succeeds Act to work with the local districts to work with their local Head Start partners. And they already collaborate with local districts through disability services and transition to kindergarten.
As far as Title I, again, requirements in ESSA and thinking about the collaborative partners and also thinking about Title I in terms of that person being responsible for submitting information and pulling those people together and submitting information into CCIP.
And Smart Start should also be included because they work with children and families within each of the counties across the state as well, and often partner with their local school district and Head Start and NC Pre-K and other early childhood programs across the state and in their community. And so they're definitely an essential partner to this process.
definitely wanting the superintendent or representative to support this work as major decisions are being made and impacting your community. So in addition, in terms of thinking about your team, those are the people who must participate on the previous slide. And then we also thought about a number of other people for you to think about at the local level who maybe you already partner with, and maybe some of these are ideas of people that you have not yet partnered with. And there could be others. So this is just a list to begin with and to get you thinking about. And as far as the regional meetings, there is a limit of 6 total people who can participate there because of space limitations, but your team at the local level can be as large as you would like it to be. So really think about all the different possibilities and including people who impact these practices from birth all the way to grade 3. So getting down to the school level with principals and teachers, including childcare out in your areas, obviously exceptional children. McKinney-Vento, just to mention that with homeless education, we're hoping to partner with them in a more formal way as we move forward, and more to come on that. Your NC Pre-K folks, families are always important and should be included. Thinking about community college and higher ed is listed, the health system, existing collaboratives. So there's a lot going on across our state with the campaign for grade level reading. Lots of people are participating in that work at the state level. And then school board members there. So we would love for you to be part of that team. You can decide what your participation looks like from the beginning of whether you could actually go to a regional meeting and participate or participate there at the local level. And so, you know, in many counties, there are people who wear multiple hats. In other counties, you're larger and it's lots of different people. So the size of your team may vary depending on your area. And just kind of thinking about your community needs and what is needed there. What are you already doing and what might the needs be? And that will help you decide who should participate as a member of your committee.
Okay, so we've already sent out information as a save the date for districts to begin building their teams. So we already know that Head Start, Title I, Smart Starts, and their other community partners are starting to talk about their team. So we will be having regional meetings for these teams starting the Monday, January 22nd in Greenville. We'll have a meeting, regional meeting also in Fayetteville on Tuesday, January 23rd. Have another in Asheville on Thursday, January 25th. And the last one in Winston-Salem on Friday, January 26th. And as I said, they're already beginning to build their teams, and registration is going out to register for those.
So another phase of this includes the intensive support. So you'll learn more about what that looks like and sounds like at the regional meetings. We'll talk a little bit about the short application process. So those will be released on January 8th, which is prior to the regional meetings. And then the RFPs are due on February 2nd. So you'll have this time in the middle to kind of think about, you know, your teams, what that looks like to participate in the regional meetings, take information back to your team. And then if you decide, complete the application. The LEAs that are selected from those applications will receive coaching, materials, how to participate in this learned community, really thinking about relationships and the importance. Then the information that you complete will review. And then also, exciting part is there's a small stipend that could be attached to that. So if you would like more intensive support, then really think about completing these applications and seeing what that looks like. So now here we are down to this slide about roles and responsibilities of the school board and really thinking about you and how you could participate. So several different ways that we've mentioned throughout the slides. It's really beginning with that awareness piece that early learning is intertwined throughout ESSA and that there are many opportunities to think about early learning in birth through grade 3 and that continuum which impacts third grade reading levels, which is important to all of us. Also thinking about what support looks like. So how can you support your folks at the local level and how can you help link to community members, which is part of your role in general. Giving input to the plan, and then finally you will have a chance to approve the plan at the local level. So you're a key member of this work, and thinking about what your involvement looks like certainly could vary from one place to another, but we would love for you to be involved in all the different phases. We just included a quote at the bottom that we know is part of the work that you do, which is provide the opportunity for students to have a sound basic education and make all policy decisions with that objective in mind, which certainly applies to this work with ESSA and early learning.
Thank you, Karen and Carla, for that information. More information about ESSA and as well as links to the other webinars will be available at www.buildthefoundation.org.